Hey, hey. Hi, guys. Welcome back. All right, Geminis, let's take a quick peek at the topic of love, specifically what's their perspective on everything. And we have got the chariot, which is they want to move this forward, just maybe at a slow pace. This person could be like a little confusing because although Ten of Cups, they could be slow to speak, slow to answer. Gemini could be having a hard time getting a read on them. Although if Gemini watches their actions, and their consistency, that might be the thing that proves, okay, this person is into me. They don't operate like everybody else I've met. They might be a little bit um, slow to warm up, but gosh, they're surprisingly very warm when I pause and really think about it. They just seem like there's somebody who kind of, maybe they're a little down tempo, maybe they keep their cards a little bit close to their chest, but I still think Gemini likes this person quite a great deal. And I think that this person, it, bit by bit, they're showing Gemini that they care. They want to work on developing something serious, but admittedly, very slow. Maybe they don't know how to read Gemini either. I mean, Gemini is the twins after all, right? So Gemini could be a bit of a mystery to them, and they might be like, I don't want to do something wrong or jeopardize this. I want Gemini to like me, but on the other hand, we've got this Page of Pentacles sideways. Yeah, I think Gemini and this person have not yet either had the layers of conversation that will give them like greater comfort with Gemini, or they haven't yet had the kind of conversation that they can really understand what Gemini is all about. Nine of Cups, they also don't know if they make Gemini happy yet, and they're a little bit scared to ask. I feel like they can sense that Gemini is happy, but they're having just as hard a time getting a read on Gemini in this. Five of Swords sideways. They don't know what pisses Gemini off, and that's probably the part that they're most concerned about. What about this or that? How does Gemini act when they're mad? I don't know. I haven't seen them mad yet. What really ticks them off? I don't know. I haven't figured that bit out yet. Queen of Swords, you know what's so funny though? I think Gemini's very straightforward. So I don't know that they're going to have that much of a problem getting to know Gemini for real. I think that they're going to have a lot easier time getting to know Gemini because I don't think Gemini's hiding anything. They seem pretty transparent. Let's put this back. Let's look just at Gemini. Gemini is very transparent. We've got the Two of Wands in the reverse. There's no holding back. This Gemini doesn't say one thing and do something else. They don't say yes when they mean no. They don't tell somebody that they like them if they don't. If Gemini is nervous, they probably admit that too. And we have the Strength card in the reverse. Gemini may have told them point blank, I don't feel like I want to move into romance too quickly. Okay. If Gemini said that, this person's probably like making sure, if anything, they want to make sure that they don't step across a boundary and try to unwittingly go too fast. Because if somebody says, I don't want to go fast, I'm afraid to fall for somebody too fast, then the question is, okay, what is too fast for you? Like, how do you define that? What's your tempo? For this, Gemini is like, I don't want anybody telling me that we're soulmates. I don't want anybody blowing smoke. I had somebody do that to me before, and then when somebody acts like, oh, we're so good together, we're in love, we're going to be so good together, and then things end, it's really painful, it's really disappointing, and it feels like it's an intentional sting. So I think that's the underlying reason that Gemini is like, look, I'm pretty blunt about, I'm scared to go and just start opening up to somebody immediately and saying that we're madly in love, because if that doesn't work out, if they say all these lovey-dovey things and I take somebody at face value and it doesn't turn out to be true, it's devastating. I don't need to do that to myself. That already happened to me. So Gemini knows all too well that, too many big time promises, they're not interested in that. We've got the Hanged Man in the reverse. The only thing that's contradicting here is that on one hand, I think Gemini is already falling for this person. Their consistency, their desire to like maybe not scare Gemini, not piss off Gemini, I feel like this is very disarming. Like for Gemini, I feel like they're recognizing that this person is kind of whittling a little hole into their heart. Oh God, we got the Emperor sideways. I think Gemini is struggling to say, look, I do not know if this person is an amazing emperor. How would I know? It's too soon to tell. Do I see some traits in them that are amazing? Yes. Do I see patience? Do I see compassion? Do I see steadiness? Do I see like them really hearing what I have to say? Do I see them attentive to me? Do I see all this? I sure do. Damn, I like this person a lot. I think this is actually starting to become difficult for Gemini to hold back. We got the Eight of Swords. They're kind of in their head. So Gemini's one who's like gave the speech, I don't want to move fast, blah, blah, blah. But now, because this person's being so respectful of all of that, Gemini themselves is the one who's like, man, they're amazing. Do I want to move a little faster after all? We've got this Page of Wands. There's definitely an attraction spark going on here, and there's, Gemini seems to really appreciate this person. We see Gemini ready to have like another, like maybe serious conversation with them. The Tower, about maybe taking a relationship to another level. Like, I think Gemini wants to drop some of their walls down with this person, but they want to kind of like make the announcement. Like, I feel like I'm getting a lot more comfortable with you. We have the Queen of Wands, we have the Nine of Wands. I think Gemini wants to go from we're only friends, I'm not doing romance with you, to I would like to shift gears a bit to romance with you. I would like you to, I want to get dressed up and, have you like acknowledge that I look amazing. And, it feels like Gemini is basically softening to the idea of like, I would like to be wooed, courted, dated, actually by this person. This person is making me feel pretty safe. We have the Nine of Wands. There's like, I think there's been a significant shift in Gemini's hesitancy. They're starting to feel like they want to be dated now and to date this person. There's definitely some changes going on here. Let me go back over to them for just a second. Four of Swords. They don't know this unless Gemini tells them. They think Gemini is still maybe kind of a bit wounded, or, they don't want to move too fast. They don't want to scare Gemini off. Knight of Swords. But boy, if they got the green light, they wouldn't be holding back. If Gemini is like really starting to feel safe with them, opening up to them, this person would not be at all scared to move forward with Gemini. We have this Ace of Cups. Holy smokes. This person seems to be, I would almost say, already in love with Gemini, but they're letting Gemini set the pace completely. Gemini can choose. But if Gemini says, let's go faster, I'm all in. Like their heart is very much invested already. That's such a pretty card too. Their heart is so, I think that they're deeply romantic. I feel like it's taking a lot of stress for them they think that they're getting the vibes from Gemini, that Gemini is like kind of either stressed right now, or am I misreading? Is Gemini pissed off at me? Did I do something to anger them? Or are they stressed because of the situation? Or do they have something that they want to say to me? I feel like this person is aware that Gemini is like on the cusp of broaching a subject, and kind of like a little unsettled. And I would just say that that's a good, assessment here. The Fool, the Page of Wands, they're dying to know what Gemini has to say. They're wishing Gemini would just come on out and spit out. Do you like me? Do you want me? Do you want to kiss me? Or are you mad at me somehow? They're pretty sure that Gemini's attracted to them now. They're pretty sure, but again, they got to let Gemini come to them. So they're waiting on Gemini to tell them how Gemini feels. This character is like determined, I'm not going to pressure or scare away this Gemini at all. They told me right out of the gate, they don't want to move fast. So we can take it at their pace. But man, this person's nuts about Gemini. They really do come across like a great emperor because they're so patient. I mean, yes, but they like Gemini to like fall into their arms and, just feel safe with them and start, flirtation and romance and kisses. Yes, they would very, very, very much like that in this story. But they're not going to set the tone. That is, they already understood Gemini wanted this to go at their own pace. This person's completely respectful of that, but they know that there's something that Gemini wants to say to them. They're just kind of biding their time, waiting, kind of holding their breath, wondering what is Gemini going to say to me. I know it's coming. I'm not sure what it is. Oh, I hope it's something good, you know. And I would say that in this storyline, it's definitely what we see is Gemini really caring a great deal about them. So, kind of a beautiful message on this, honestly. All right, thank you guys for being here. Thanks for hanging out with me. I know it's late, but I still wanted to get one out to you guys tonight. Lots of love. Thanks for being here. Bye.